Hey everyone, welcome to another deep dive. This time we're tackling the IELTS speaking test head on.
We're going to make it feel like you're right there in the exam room.
Exactly. We've got a mock test scenario straight from IELTS speaking mock test practice.
We'll be playing it out step by step, just like the real deal.
So you can walk into that test feeling confident and ready to ace it.
The IELTS speaking test is divided into 3 parts.
The introduction and interview, a long turn where you'll speak for a bit, and finally, a discussion section. Think of me as the examiner and our expert here as the candidate.
Let's imagine we're in that exam room.
And let's begin. Good morning. My name is, and I am your examiner for today's speaking test. Can you please tell me your full name?
Good morning. My name is?
Thank you. And can I see your identification, please?
Of course. Here's my passport.
Thank you. That's fine. Now, in the first part of the test, I'm going to ask you some questions about yourself. Let's talk about online learning. What do you think about online learning?
I think online learning has become a fantastic alternative to traditional education, especially over the last few years. It offers great flexibility as students can access courses anytime and anywhere. For example, during the pandemic, I could attend lectures from the comfort of my home, which made balancing studies and personal life much easier. However, it can sometimes feel a bit isolating as you miss out on face-to-face interactions with peers and teachers.
Do you think online learning will replace traditional classrooms?
While online learning has undeniable advantages, I don't think it will completely replace traditional classrooms. There's something irreplaceable about the social environment of a physical classroom where students can interact directly with their instructors and classmates. Hybrid models combining online and in-person sessions might become more common, but I believe there will always be a place for conventional learning.
What do you enjoy most about online learning?
The biggest advantage for me is the flexibility it provides. I love that I can rewatch recorded lectures if I need clarification or if I missed something during class. I also enjoy being able to study at my own pace and choose the time that works best for me. It's been a real game changer in terms of personalizing my education.
Great. We've just heard our expert navigate those initial questions. And, I think there are already some really interesting phrases popping up that we can learn from.
Absolutely. Let's break down some of those key expressions that can really boost your score.
Perfect. I noticed you used the phrase irreplaceable about the social environment when talking about traditional classrooms. It's a strong way to emphasize the unique value of those face-to-face interactions, wouldn't you say?
Definitely. Using a word like irreplaceable adds weight to your argument and demonstrates the sophisticated vocabulary.
And then there's that great idiom you used. It's been a real game changer. It perfectly captures the significant impact online learning has had on your education. It adds a touch of natural idiomatic English that examiners love to hear.
Exactly. It shows you're going beyond basic vocabulary and using expressions that a native English speaker would use.
So listeners, take note. These kinds of phrases can really elevate your responses and show the examiner that you have a good command of the language.
Remember, using expressive language and demonstrating a wide range of vocabulary is key to achieving a higher band score.
Now that was just a taste of the introduction and interview section. Are you ready to see how our expert handles the long turn?
Let's move on to part 2.
All right, so we're moving on to part 2 of the IELTS speaking test, the long turn. This is where you get to really shine.
You get to show off your speaking skills.
Exactly, and you get to talk for a solid minute or two on a specific topic.
In the real test, you'd have a minute to prepare.
But today we're diving right in.
No prep time.
Ready to see how our expert handles the pressure.
Let's go.
Okay, the topic for this long turn is describe something that makes you laugh. You should aim to speak for 1 to 2 minutes. And make sure to cover these points. What makes you laugh? Why does it make you laugh? How often do you experience this laughter? And why is it important to laugh at this thing? All right, take it away.
One thing that never fails to make me laugh is watching funny animal videos online. You know those clips of cats acting like dogs or parrots mimicking human voices?
Yeah.
I think it's something universally hilarious about animals doing things we don't expect. I find myself watching these videos almost every day.
Every day?
Yeah. Usually in the evening when I want to unwind and relax, they're a quick escape from stress. And no matter how tired or down I feel, they always manage to bring a smile to my face or even make me laugh out loud. What I enjoy most is the innocence and unpredictability of those moments. Unlike scripted comedies, animal videos are so natural and spontaneous.
They're just being themselves.
Exactly. And that makes them even funnier, I think. Plus, laughing helps me unwind and puts me in a good mood. It's a healthy release. And it reminds me not to take life too seriously.
That's a great point.
Sometimes we all need that reminder.
You did an excellent job. You covered all the points spoke for a good length of time.
Thanks.
Listeners at home, remember that in the real test, there's a clock ticking down.
So keeping an eye on the time is important.
Absolutely. But let's rewind for a moment and dissect some of the language our expert used. There were some real gems in there that could help boost your score.
Let's break it down.
I loved the phrase escape from stress when you describe those animal videos. It's such a clear and concise way to paint a picture for the listener.
It's about going beyond just describing the topic.
And really expressing how it makes you feel.
Exactly.
And then you used healthy release when talking about the positive effects of laughter.
That's a good one.
Such a strong choice of words.
Shows a real command of English.
It's about demonstrating that you can use the language in a natural and sophisticated way.
Exactly.
So we've seen how to tackle those initial questions and deliver a longer response. Are you ready for the final challenge?
The discussion section.
Let's dive into part 3. All right, so here we are, part 3, the discussion section. This is where things get a little more in-depth.
We're going to dive deeper into those topics we touched on in the long term.
Exactly. It's all about showing off your ability to engage in a conversation and express your thoughts and opinions. Ready to see our expert in action?
Absolutely. Let's get those brain cells working.
Okay, so let's continue our chat about humor and laughter. First question. Are you a moody person? Why or why not?
I wouldn't say I'm particularly moody. I have my ups and downs like everyone else, but I try to maintain a balanced perspective.
A balanced perspective. I like that.
It helps me stay emotionally steady. When I do feel a bit off, I try to figure out why. Is it stress? Lack of sleep? And then I address it.
So it's about self-awareness.
Yeah, definitely. And self-care, too. I make a conscious effort not to let small things get to me. It's not worth it.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, shifting gears a bit. Do you think people have become more stressed these days?
Oh, absolutely. I think the pace of life has just gotten so much faster. There's so many demands on our time and attention.
It's like we're always on.
Exactly. We're constantly connected to work or social media.
Yeah.
It's hard to truly switch off and relax, and all that pressure, especially on young people trying to juggle studies and careers and personal lives, it definitely leads to more stress.
So finding healthy ways to unwind is crucial.
More important than ever, whether it's exercise, spending time with loved ones, anything that helps you de-stress.
Absolutely. Okay, last question to wrap things up. Do you think people who laugh a lot are more positive?
I think in many cases, laughter is a reflection of a positive outlook. People who laugh easily often have a more relaxed approach to life.
They don't sweat the small stuff.
Exactly. And they can find humor even in challenging situations. Plus, laughter itself has so many benefits. Reducing stress, creating connections with others.
It's like a superpower.
Kind of. Of course, it doesn't mean that people who laugh less are negative. It's just that laughter can be a sign of someone who chooses to focus on the bright side.
That's a great way to put it. Well done. You handled that discussion like a pro.
Thanks. It was fun.
And that wraps up our IELTS speaking test scenario. We've covered it all from those first introductions to those deeper discussions.
Hopefully everyone listening feels a bit more familiar with the format now.
And picked up some useful vocabulary and strategies along the way.
Remember those key expressions and collocations we talked about?
Those can really make your answers shine. But most importantly, keep practicing.
Practice makes perfect.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to have fun with it. Until next time, happy learning.